All right, focusing on other elections, they're already underway in America's northern neighbor, and Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is in for the fight of his political life. A series of cultural and ethics scandals during Trudeau's term have cost him support among voters. Polls show the rival Conservative Party gaining support and possibly even winning today's election in Canada. Now, whatever the result is, it is expected to be very close. To tell us what this might mean, we're joined now by Jon Hartley, an economic policy analyst and writer. Jon, this election in Canada has been unusually nasty. Why? What is at stake in the outcome?
Well, it's been a very close race so far, and this people, I think, weren't predicting it to be this close until really just recently in the polls, where the Conservatives seem to be polling pretty neck and neck with the Trudeau Liberal Party. I think really what's at stake is the direction of the Canadian economy. You have, on the one hand, the Trudeau Liberal government, which, despite promising to end the deficit basically 4 years ago, hasn't done that. They've raised taxes considerably on the middle class and on top earners. Those that make around 200,000 Canadian dollars and above, that's around $150,000 and above U.S. that live in Ontario now face a marginal tax rate above 50%. And meanwhile, this is being used to fund very considerable increases in government spending, and Prime Minister Trudeau has promised to increase government spending even further.
Well, but is it really about the economy when you've had all of these scandals emerging, revolving the Prime Minister? A lot of people are seeing this as ultimately a referendum on Justin Trudeau. You had a scandal involving him pressuring his Attorney General to drop criminal charges. You've also got that blackface instance, or instances as it's turned out. Is it really more about him?
Well, it's interesting. I'm not exactly the best political analyst out there, but I think it surprised some how forgiving many Canadians are with regard to those scandals. Personally, I would have thought that given some of these scandals that he would have fallen further in the polls. But I fundamentally do think that Canadians do care about their taxes, and they do care about government programs as well. And I think that weighs really a lot on this particular issue. If you look at the sheer Conservatives, they've offered a very different vision than Prime Minister Trudeau has, and what they've offered is a universal tax cut.
Right, they've offered that universal tax cut, and they've also offered to scrap the country's carbon tax. Do you see that appealing to voters? How could it not?
That's right. Well, the carbon tax isn't very is certainly not very popular. I think one thing that is particularly unpopular in the western part of Canada has been the degree to which the Trudeau government has really held up certain energy projects like the Trans Mountain Pipeline, which they really just approved in June in kind of desperation, some would argue, for political reasons. Meanwhile, the energy sector in Canada has been ravaged because of volatile energy prices in recent years, and Canada's GDP has been sub 2% over Trudeau's 3 full years in office.
All right, Jon, I think we'll see how the voters decide. It's going to be a late night. Jon Hartley, thank you. That's our show. Keep it here.